If we don't have parallel currencies, straight away we can go and assign to our company code. And if at all you have parallel ledgers, if at all you have just 0L, you don't have to create those two additional depreciation areas for capturing the additional, the ledgers. If at all you have parallel ledgers, you have to have these two things, otherwise you don't require. And if at all you have parallel currencies, apart from creating the depreciation areas, you will also have to do one more step under the fixed assets. Any questions? Okay, now let's get into that area. So general valuation, currencies, here you have currencies, specify the use of parallel currencies. It means we have created 6 depreciation areas, and you will be telling what currencies that you are considering. I mean, what for we have created those many, that has to be mentioned over here. So specify the use of parallel currencies. Path for this is IMG, financial accounting, account asset accounting, organization, general valuation, then currencies. Specify the use of parallel currencies. Just execute, and here you can see all of them, and you need to mention. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 we have created for 0L, right? We have created for 0L. Then, I mean, okay, let me open that screen so that it becomes easy for us to discuss. So I'm getting into the same area, right? Now 2 and 3 are the group and hard currency depreciation areas for capturing 0L. It means gap, right? So this gap is something relating to one depreciation area, first depreciation area. So now I'm going back to this screen and make sure for these two things, the value, this part will be 1. Okay. If you see over here, you can see depreciation areas. So whether 2 and 3 is based on 1 or based on 40, based on 80. Why? Because we have assigned separate, I mean, we have assigned one accounting principle for 0, 1, another accounting principle for 40, another accounting principle for 80. So for all these three, we have created two additional depreciation areas, one for group, the other for hard currency. Okay, so now the second and third, the first two parallel depreciations which we have created is something relating to the first one. So make sure that the adoption of these values should be 1 only. Okay, 1 only. Now coming to the fourth and fifth one. Fourth and fifth one, I'm going back to the screen. The fourth and fifth one are created. Fourth is created for 1248 accounting principle. And this 1248 accounting principle is linked to depreciation area 40. Let me know if at all you have any questions. Don't get tensed here, don't get confused here. So 3 and 4, 4 and 5 are relating to 1248 accounting principle. So this 1 to 4 at accounting principle is linked to account depreciation area 40. So you will have to assign here fourth and fifth 40, because this fourth and fifth are something relating to depreciation area 40. Okay, depreciation area 40. Then coming to the last two one, 6 and 7. Now 6 and 7 are something relating to 1482 accounting principle. Now 1482 accounting principle is connected to 80 depreciation area. So 6 and 7 should have 80. 6 and 7 should have 80. So why we got 1? Because we have copied all of them based on 1. So the first one, based on the first one, whatever the first one we have, the same thing will be copied, and 0 is here. I will tell you that later. Okay, 1 1 based on 1, and these two are based on 40, and here based on 80. Any questions here? Right. Now let's see here, second and third. Second for group, third for hard currency. Of course we will have to change the description. I'll show you. We can change the description here. If you double click here, it is this is the description. You can change to group currency and hard currency. Accordingly you can see the description over here. Okay, now second and third, second is for group currency, third for hard currency, fourth is group currency, hard currency, sixth group currency, and followed by hard currency. So we will have to select that. Now, how do we know what to consider? Again, in our parallel currencies, we have mentioned that point clearly. In the ledgers, define settings for ledger setting, and here in the currency types, you see 30 is for group currency and 40 is for hard currency, right? Now, when you see here currency conversion settings for company code, double click here on this and we can find them. For 1248, you can see 1010 is our company code currency, 3040 are our parallel currencies. So 30 and 40 should be selected here. So let me go and select them. Now I'm selecting here, scroll down to pick up 30. Yes, 30 we have here, select the same thing. And this is for hard currency. So select 40, 40 is here. And this is for group currency. Next is for hard currency. This is again for group currency, and this is going to be finally hard currency. Okay, we have maintained that. Now coming to the value adaptables, these are the ones. Now why we have 0 here? This is because this is an independent value. It means if you go and see our this thing depreciation areas, okay, depreciation areas 1001, 1001. Now here one has area post in real time. It means this has a independency. What does it mean? It means We have posted few transactions. Okay. And there are certain transactions that you can consider. One second, let me open that. Now, if you see over here, we have ledger related transaction codes. We have non-ledger related transaction codes. When you post any transaction in FB50 or FD02, it gets updated in all ledgers. But when you try to post in FB50L, while entering the transaction, you will be asked to enter one ledger group there. It means these ledger groups are independent. You are posting the transactions directly in that ledger. So whatever the ledger you will consider over here, the document gets updated only in that specific ledger. It does not get updated in any other ledgers. If you don't consider any ledger, the transaction will update in all ledgers. That's the condition. Okay, now that is the reason why I can say these are independent. So gap, the one is independent and 40 is another independent. Again, 80 is also another independent. So we should have zero value for that. So this thing should not have, if you see over here, we don't have any zero here. What does it mean? It is not depending on any item. It has got its own. So we will consider it as zero. So similarly, 40 and 50 should also have zero. Next, this also should have zero, right? The moment I press enter, I got zeros over here. Any questions here in this? Adapting the values, what is the base to consider? That is what this talks about. Clear? Right. The next we have is identify